Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., it's going to be a hot one. We have a heat advisory covering all of northeastern Colorado, and it goes into effect at 10 o'clock this morning. We have team coverage as we could potentially see more record time temperatures.
Air conditioners will be on full blast across the metro. I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta with how power companies are making sure they can keep your AC up and running.
Rising temps lead to restless sleep. New this morning, the best ways to get some sound shut-eye during a heat wave.
The feds announced the biggest interest rate hike in nearly 3 decades, how it's already impacting your finances.
A night full of tears and cheers.
It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
Celebrations ripple across San Francisco as their team takes home the NBA championship.
And we're hoping for a similar scene here when the Avs bring home the Stanley Cup. The changes you'll see at weekend watch parties.
We know they're going to bring home that cup.
When
Yes,
we
when.
bring it home.
Not if. Well, we also have a lot of changes coming for the weekend watch parties. It's going to be a big weekend out there. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Jessica Crawford. It is a Denver 7 weather action day this morning as we brace for what could be record-breaking heat. We've already had a fire overnight, Boulder Fire Rescue. They're trying to put out hot spots from wildfires near Wonderland Lake, north of the city. It was contained at about ½ an acre in size. A good reminder of the high fire danger that this heat is bringing along with it.
Now, we have team coverage this morning. Let's start with meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo. Lisa, we're flirting with the triple digits here.
We are, and we could be tying another record high. We've tied 2 here within the last week. This could be our 3rd. The record high today is 100. We're going to be pretty close to it, right around 98 to near 99. That's what we're calling for here in Denver. Under a heat advisory that goes into effect at 10 o'clock this morning until 9 o'clock tonight. So we are going to see warm conditions here developing within the next couple of hours. As far as our temperatures go right now, things are actually pretty pleasant. As you step out the door early this morning, you're going to find 60s. Soak it in, open the windows while you can, because things are going to heat up fast. And we do have a heat advisory that goes into effect here. Right now, current temps in the low to mid 60s, 40s in the mountains. Here's a look at that advisory. It covers all of northeastern Colorado and the core of the metro area. Here's the good news. When it comes to fire danger and when it comes to the heat, we do have a better chance for some showers. This is our Futurecast, Jason, at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'll show you what to expect through the weekend. Obviously, a lot going on here in the Mile High City this weekend.
Yeah, so for all the folks that'll be heading west, be prepared for maybe some changing conditions on the roadways with some wet roadways that'll be happening up there and maybe some storms. So just be careful if you're going to be exiting west for your Friday. Right now, the drive overall looks pretty nice. No big problems. Had a crash downtown at Park Avenue and Stout. Shouldn't slow you down by any means. I-76, and as you see the camera there at 270, already heavier, getting down past the Platte River and down past the refinery. So a very typical start here. You can see that on the drive times as well, whether it's there across Commerce City, 270, I-76, it's all basically the same thing. No problems on I-70. We have that eastbound express lane open. I'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. About a 15 to 20 minute security wait time inside DIA right now.
As we're under this rare heat advisory, we want to make sure that you're prepared to stay safe.
Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is live. And Veronica, we know people are still going to want to get outside. Some people have to work outside. You just have to plan for it.
Working outside is pretty normal. We have this construction site here behind us, and some of these guys, they have to get up pretty early to try and avoid those really hot temperatures. Now, when it comes to being outside, we know that hydrating is the best thing that you can do to try and steer clear of any kind of heat-related illness. If you don't start very early in the morning when it's a little bit cooler like now, experts say, then by the time it really heats up, you're likely going to be a little bit behind in terms of hydration. So here's what these experts with the CDC recommend. If you're working in the heat, you should be drinking 1 cup of water. This is every 15 to 20 minutes. The CDC says drinking small amounts of water frequently is a little bit more effective than drinking a lot of water all at once. Then there's drinking water after work. Experts say that's more important because you need to replace whatever you ended up sweating out. Now, as we start feeling those temps get hotter and hotter, sooner and sooner, AC no longer just an option for a lot of us. Excel says it's ready for the demand. But here's what the company recommends so you can save some money. They say closing your curtains, getting the fans going if you're home, maybe even upgrading to a programmable thermostat so you can better control those temps and costs. Those are all really good options. Now, our state is focused on making sure that despite temps increasing every year, our electric grid can really handle it. That's why today Colorado's Public Utilities Commission is scheduled to meet just to make sure that that is the case, not only this month, but also into the future. That meeting is scheduled for 2 p.m. this afternoon. And of course, we'll keep you updated on what comes of it. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Veronica. If you're waking up groggy this morning after a night of restless sleep because of the heat, we have some advice here from the experts at sleepapnea.org. They say use cotton sheets. Also, remove the blanket on your bed and replace it with a sheet spritzed with water. They said you could actually even put that sheet in the freezer for a little while. And remember, heat rises, so if you live in a 2-story home, it's probably better to sleep downstairs, even if it means sleeping on the couch. And if all else fails and you can't get enough quality sleep during the night, try to plan for a nap in a cool space during the day. They have 40 tips on that site, some of them very interesting. I would encourage you to check that out. And you will have weather updates throughout the day here. Just download the Denver 7 Plus app to your favorite streaming device for updates.
Breaking overnight, the Golden State Warriors are taking the O'Brien Trophy back to San Francisco. You saw it right here on Denver 7 last night. The Warriors beat the Celtics 103-90. It is the team's 7th title. Plenty of locker room celebration, as you can see right here. Curry led the Warriors with 34 points. He was visibly emotional on the court after the win. There he is. This is Curry's 4th title, tying him with NBA greats LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal.
Special, man, special. Just all the work that went into it, all the faith and belief, and everybody in that locker room that's, getting to spray champagne around the locker room. Everybody mattered in that process, so I'm just proud of everybody.
Check out the fireworks over the Warriors' home arena, the Chase Center in San Francisco. A victory parade for the Warriors is scheduled for Monday around noon our time along Market Street.
Here's a welcome sight for Avs fans. Nazem Kadri was back on the ice yesterday. He was practicing with a stick for the first time since having thumb surgery. While this looked pretty good, it is still very likely he will not be ready to play in tomorrow's game 2. So it just means you'll have to cheer on the Avs even more to make up for his absence.
There are some changes that you're going to see, though, at those watch parties tomorrow while you're doing that cheering. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live from the Tilly Quad, where organizers are making their party bigger and better.
Yeah, they are, and they actually saw around 5,600 people at the last watch party, and they're expecting double that this weekend, so around 10,000 people. Organizers are getting everything ready to make sure that everyone has a fun and safe time. They told us that Wednesday's watch party was a huge success. Everyone had amazing energy, and they were thrilled with how everything turned out. The biggest issue they had was some confusion among fans about how to enter. So there's only one entrance for safety and security purposes, and it's located on the southwest corner of Tivoli Quad. That's at the intersection of 10th and Larimer. So ahead of Game 2 on Saturday, organizers are increasing the number of staff for food and for the beer areas.
There were a few lines. We're actually going to double our team that's going to support our fans on Saturday. We want to ensure that the fan experience is the best it can be, and so we are entirely focused on serving their needs.
And Denver police will be increasing patrols here and around Ball Arena, and those gates will open at 3 p.m. on Saturday. Live in Denver, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Christian, thank you. Sounds like fun. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll have pre-game coverage. That's starting at 5:30. It's ahead of ABC's coverage at 6 p.m. Our post-game show will begin right after the game.
It's now just about 6:10. I'm already getting nervous. I think a lot of the city is. It's a Denver 7 weather action day for the heat today. Tomorrow's not going to be quite as warm, but take a look at the forecast right before the start of the game. 5 o'clock around Ball Arena, we're going to be at 92 degrees. Chance for a few more thunderstorms tomorrow. Better chance we're going to see a little bit of rain closer to town. Upper 70s by 9. A pretty mild night. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the timing of some of these storms and where we could see some pockets of heavier rain.
There is a crash out by the airport along 56th Avenue between E470 and Jackson Gap, and there are some restrictions out there. Right now on I-76 here at the Commerce City Split, you can see some of that increased traffic slowing down here into the 20s and 30s for the most part. So a very typical drive time getting down to I-25. We'll take a look at the rest of the commute coming up in just a bit.
Borrowing money is costing you more than it has in decades. The biggest impacts we're already seeing from this week's historic interest rate hike. Plus,
maybe we have the next fire chief of the Denver Fire Department in 25 years.
Hosing down flames, climbing giant ladders, and even breaking into cars. This isn't your typical child summer camp.